Welcome back to Every Choice YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful double puff sleeve. If this is something you like to do, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. This is a double puff sleeve. Okay, it's going to have like gathers here to make it puffy, and at the same time, it's going to start from the shoulder. It's not enough shoulder sleeve. So here, my actual round sleeve is 18 inches, so divided by 2 is supposed to be 9 inches, but because I want it to be really puffy, I multiply that by 2, so I have 18 inches on fold, which means in full I have 36 inches. I hope you understand that. And then for the length of this sleeve is actually the elbow length, which is around 12 inches. But for extra puffiness, because if you use the exact 12 inches, it's not going to puff, it's going to come out flat. I want it to be puffy, so you can add from 4 inches upwards. So I added extra 5 inches and then 1 inch for my seam allowance. So those are the measurements that I have. So I have 18 inches on fold here, and then 18 inches for the length as well. So like I said, it's a full shoulder sleeve. It's not a half shoulder sleeve. So for the calf side, I'm going to come down by 5 to 6 inches here, and then with my free hand, I'm just going to draw like a curve, like an armhole curve there. So I will cut that part out. It's a very simple sleeve to make. You don't need to do so much. Okay, so you can see what we have here now. So this is what we have. The next thing is to decide where you want to place the elastic. So you can just divide what you have here into 2. So dividing 18 into 2 is going to give us 9 inches. So here I'm marking 9 inches, and then I'm going to make that into a straight line, and that's where I'm going to be placing my elastic. So the 9 inches that I have marked, I'll turn it to the other side as well, because I need it there as well. And then I'm going to mark that 9 inches on this other side so that I can have it in full. So after this, I'll take it to the sewing machine and start to sew. So I'm going to be using my elastic for these gathers. So for the elastic, you can either create casing for it, or you just work with your elastic just like that, so you can clearly see the line that we have there. That's where I'm going to gather. So like I said, I have my elastic here, and that's what I'm using. So for this, you can create the casing for the elastic by just folding like a 1 inch fabric, and you sew it by the side, so you have a casing to pass the elastic through. But for me, I'm just going to sew my elastic on it like this to gather it. So that's for the midpoint. For this part, that's the outer part, I'm going to fold once like this and then create the casing. I'm folding once because this is a selvage and it's not going to frill, so I'm just going to fold this like this once, and then I'm going to pass my elastic to it. So to know the amount of elastic that you're going to use here, you can measure your bicep, okay, or you can use your elastic to measure your bicep. So that's going to guide you on the amount of elastic that you are going to need. You don't want that part to be too wide as well. So once you use it to measure your bicep, I'm going to cut it out on the place that I know is comfortable for me, which is here. So now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and start to sew. So you start sewing from here. You back stitch to hold it down. Then you're going to drag your elastic and sew. So once you drag your elastic and sew, when you're done sewing, this is what it does. It's going to gather everything together. Then you continue, you drag again and sew. So I'll go and do that now. also, if you're sewing and you notice that when you drag, it's not going to get to the end of your elastic is not going to get to the end of your fabric. So what you're going to do is to just split a little. You gather a little bit manually like this, and then you drag on it and sew. So that way it's going to be enough to cover the entire space that you want. I hope you understand that. So that's what I'm doing here. I just gather manually a little bit and sew on it. Just like that. So now I'm done sewing, and you can clearly see what I have now that it is gathered for me. I've also created an elastic channel on the hem, so I'm going to pass elastic through the hem to gather it as well. But before I leave the sewing machine, I want to run like a gather stitch, a loose stitch on the head of this sleeve, so that I will be able to gather it easily. Remember, I did not use my actual armhole measurement. So it's either you do that, you can gather it when you are sewing to your bodies, or you can just gather it before that. You need to gather it back to what your armhole measurement is actually because this is obviously bigger than what we have on the armhole. So that is why I'm doing this. Okay, so this is what we have. Now I'm going to use my safety pin to pass elastic through this hem as well. So after that, I'm going to gather the upper part and sew the sleeve up. Okay, so now what I'm doing is gathering the head of the sleeve. That's the upper part. I'm gathering it to my actual armhole measurement. Okay, and that's also going to give you some form of puffiness. Okay, you can see the double puff that we have here. Okay, this is the first one and this is the second one. So the next thing to do now is to take this to the sewing machine and close the under area of the sleeve. So when you're gathering this upper part, make sure that you still have enough for your armhole. Mine is 9 inches on fold, so that's what I'm trying to check. If it's not enough, I'm going to release it more. So you have to be mindful of that when you are doing your gathering. So once you have that, you can go ahead. So you can see I have that now, so you can go ahead and sew it. So if you want your puff to be more than this, you can increase the length of your sleeve so that I can have more puffiness, but I'm okay with what I have here. So I go ahead and sew the under sleeve area, and then I'll take it to the mannequin so that we can see what it looks like. So this is what we have. You can see our puff sleeve. This is the first puff, this is the second puff. I can see how puffy it is. So like I said, if you want it more puffy, you can increase the length and width as the case may be. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.